That sound. Alright, guys. This is a pretty uncommon one. It's called Final Fight Guy. So you're probably like, oh, I've heard of Final Fight. Yeah, there were 3 of them on the Super Nintendo. So there's some story being told here. And in the original game, there is Cody and Haggar. Mike Haggar, who he's like the mayor, but he's also 5,000 pounds of pure muscle, which is what we need in this world. For some reason, they were like, you know what? Maybe it was story, like a story reason. They were like, you can play as Cody or Haggar, not Guy. Whoa. And they're like, screw Guy. Screw you, Guy. And then down the line, a couple years later, in actually 1994, for some reason, Capcom was like, hey, we're going to release this game called Final Fight Guy, where Cody is still in Japan. There you go. That's the reason. And you get to play as Guy. So this was released in 94. I'm curious to see what the title card
So you
says.
said this is like a remake of 1?
Yeah, 89, 94. So it's literally, I don't even know if it's a remake. It's just Final Fight, but with Guy instead of Haggar. So should I play as Guy? Just because it's fun? I mean, I feel like I have to, right? I prefer to play as 6.64 feet Haggar, but let's play as
Haggar is like a grapple character.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like Zangief or whatever. So yeah, this was released originally as a Blockbuster-only rental. Although they did eventually have like a very limited release like in stores. So you could...
But it was like 94.
Yes. And if it was 94 where it was a rental, it could have been 95 by the time it was released like in stores.
And by then, people only care about the PlayStation.
Yes. Yes.
All
Or
right.
at the very least, they didn't want a game that was like, I don't know when Final Fight 1 was first released, like 91, 92. It was a pretty early release. They did not want a Final Fight game when 2 was definitely out, and 3 was probably out. So, for guess on price, because this game is very, very uncommon, we're just going to guess a loose copy. That's normally what we do for cartridges.
I literally have no idea if this is like... I'll just say 100.
It's... definitely way more than that.
I just have no idea. It felt like it might have been like a $300 game, but
I think it's more like 4... Dang, that guy took all my life. 4, maybe 500.
I guess I should have seen that because of the Blockbuster exclusivity for a while at least.
No, dude, this one dude, 2P, literally took my entire thing. I was too weak with him. So yeah, that is literally the story of this game. It is quite literally Final Fight with the character Guy, and they re-released it and called it Final Fight Guy. I never knew that. Because I don't know anything about Final Fight. And when I found that out, I was like, wait, it's literally called Final Fight Guy because there's a character named freaking Guy? Are you kidding me?
So this game is all over the place. It has sold a couple times in the last month for 600. But some, like, random auctions only went for 200. So I guess it's like one of those games that you might get super lucky on eBay. But another sold for 550, 530, another for 400. So I'd say, like, average, probably like 450.
That's fair. And yeah, it makes sense. I mean, when you hear, like, with retro games, when you hear a story like that, like, it got a very limited release because of blah, 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 you know it's going to be at least like $100 because of that. Final Fight is a pretty,
Yeah, one of the most infamous ones is Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut, and that goes for well over 500.
Oh, I think...
More like 1,000.
I'm actually curious. I think if you look at them now, it's like over 1,000. It is like the most notorious one, so people go nuts over that.
Yeah, it does sort of have that artificially high...
It's just like Little Samson. It's not even close to the rarest game on the NES.
The first one that pops up is one that has probably 60% of the cover ripped off and $850.
Yeah,
now,
so definitely over a K.
So, for anyone that is not aware of this, I guess they probably do, but when you have a super rare game, but it's in terrible condition, it is the most impossible thing to sell in the world.
Yeah.
Because if a collector, and I'm including myself with this, if I'm going to go out of my way to spend $1,000 on Sculptor's Cut. I'm not going to
crap.
I'm not going to spend $850 for one that has absolutely like 50% of the label gone.
Yeah, the only way you'd do it is if it was like $300 as compared to $1,000.
Like one guy recently, Spencer told me, was trying to sell Kuon loose, and it's like, what do you even do with that? Like, I guess just list it on an eBay?
I mean, if Kuon's like a, I don't know, $700-800 game, it's like, well, what do you do as a loose copy? Is a collector really going to want to spend $500 on a loose when they could spend $700 on a complete? Like, if you have friends over and you're like, oh, this is Kuon, and you show them just the disc, is that cool? Not in my opinion.
But yeah, Sculptor's Cut in good condition is like $1,200.
That makes sense. I have a copy sitting right behind me. Although I've had that for, I mean, how many years at this point? Oh, so you can't...
Did you get it before the store opened?
No, it was probably a couple years after.
So...
this is my hot take of the year. Don't super like... Okay, good. I don't super like N64. It has a couple games that are like classics, but... people really love 64, and I'm just not about it. I don't like early 3D stuff. GameCube's awesome, Super Nintendo's awesome. I think 64 was a pretty big misstep.
I think it was just that awkward period. And, I mean, if you have to compare it against the PS1, the PS1 blows it out of the water, like, basically everywhere.
Well, PS1 also ended up having more 2D games. They didn't want to. Like, Sony was kind of kicking and screaming into allowing 2D games, because early on they were like, no, it's a 3D system, it has to be all 3D.
Yeah, apparently when Capcom was trying to get like certification for Mega Man X4, they failed the quality assurance or whatever like 4 times in a row, because they're just like, we don't want this.
Yeah. We
don't want this amazing looking game that's timeless and is going to age amazingly because it's not lay 3D.
Right. So eventually, obviously, they got to that point. Dude, this game is hard. I guess we could have played it 2-player, but whatever. I also feel like games like this are oftentimes harder 2-player.
Yeah, also, I gotta admit, I mean, I don't think this is like a super contentious opinion, but I think beat-em-ups are like one of the worst genres.
There's some good ones. I mean, Turtles in Time is an incredible game. There's a couple of those other ones for Super Nintendo that Capcom did, like, I think it's Knights of the Round.
I mean, there's good ones. Like, I like Turtles in Time and some other ones.
Streets of Rage 2 is also very good.
But even, like, those games, I'll play, like, Turtles in Time, like, once every few years, and I might not even finish it. I'm just like, yep, I'm good.
Well, the problem with beat-em-ups is they're very limited in scope. Like, if you were like, hey, do you want to play this beat-em-up? It's 3 hours long. I would say, no thank you, sir. And you could be like, no, it's the best game of all time. And I'd be like, it's a 3-hour beat-em-up? I'm good. Like, and I want to make it clear, I'm not talking about 3D beat-em-ups, like 3D, like, action games. But a beat-em-up like this cannot be more than, like, 30-45 minutes, or else you get, like, extreme fatigue. Because there really is no break in the action. That's why something like an RPG, Japanese RPG, can be, 100 hours long, because it's like you have a fight, and then you pick up items, and then you go do story stuff.
Yeah, half the fun is like story, and then also making number go up because levels and equipment.
Right. Whereas this, it's like, okay, in between the levels, they could have like 30 seconds of story, kind of like Ninja Gaiden did, but they're not gonna like story dump you in the middle of a game. Yeah, we played a kind of a beat 'em up the other week as a Let's Try, The Punisher. Also pretty good. I mean, this game's like pretty fine. It's also only a 2-button, one being jump and one being punch. So that's a bit limiting too. I generally prefer Super Nintendo over Sega Genesis, but I would pick Streets of Rage over Final Fight. It's
I would agree.
Not particularly close.
Streets of Rage 2 is one of the best Genesis games. Like, sorry if anyone was triggered over me saying beat 'em ups suck. They just generally suck.
Yeah. I guess I'll go until I get a game over, which is one more life. Dude, this
Well,
game
like,
is like actually kind of hard. I'm decent at beat 'em ups, and I'm down to 1 life. And what are we on, stage 2? Like, holy crap!
Billy.
Bimmy,
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy and Jimmy. Here's another fun fact since we're just talking about them today. Double Dragon 1 on the NES is a 1-player game. That's something that comes up at the store all the time when someone's like, what's a good 2-player game? Double Dragon? I'm like, Double Dragon 2, sure. But Double Dragon 1 is a 1-player game. I'm sure it has something to do with limitations of the hardware at the time. Or like making games or whatever.
Or just like it was rushed out or something. Double Dragon is weird because like Double Dragon 1 is a single player game. It's like pretty good. 2 is great, but then 3 is like horrible.
Doesn't 3 do that thing where you can attack where you attack each other?
You can attack each other, and also I think Double Dragon 3 you only have 1 life.
Yeah, I think that's it. If you make a beat 'em up, Battletoads did this. If you make a beat 'em up and have an option where you can friendly fire, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing with your life?
Like, alright, to be fair to Battletoads, it is an option. Like, it's like, there's game type A and game type B. And I think in Battletoads and Double Dragon, I just watched a video on this the other day, game type A, the one that you're gonna pick first, is the friendly fire one, and I'm like, what? Make a game type B if you have to put that garbage in. Like, what, do you want Battletoads to be harder? Is that what you're looking for, my man? I mean, I guess if you're like TMR level, the Mexican runner, the streamer that is like, I beat Battletoads with my eyes closed, okay.
I think he's finished it where he beat every single NES game. Like official NES game.
Oh, finally. I know that was a
Not
thing.
that I've watched him in 5 years.
Yeah. I follow him on Twitch, and every single time, no matter what time I'm on Twitch, which I don't go on very often, he's always doing a rerun. Always. Like, literally, it could be noon, it could be 10 p.m., it doesn't matter. He's running a rerun, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
What do you mean rerun?
Like, literally, I think you can do that on Twitch. Oh, this is cool.
Oh, he just like rebroadcast like previous streams.
Yeah, rebroadcast like the last stream or whatever. What is this? I'm in
Katana. Yeah,
I'm in a wrestling ring.
Oh my god, you literally have the Mazamune. They said it was the Mazamune.
I'm in a wrestling ring with a pirate.
Oh my god.
That took almost my entire life. With a pirate skull and crossbones against a guy named Katana who drops his Mazamunes.
Also, how much life does he have?
Oh my god, dude.
Do you have to...
Okay, that... Wow. Oh! I get one more hit.
Do you have to, like, take his sword and then get the other one or something to do damage?
Alright. Does it continue right here? It does not look like it. Alright, I'm not going to continue, so we have to see what happens when this gets to 0.
You want to try Haggar for like a second?
Sure, what the heck.
Boom!
In a game made in 2024, they would just show, like, his head exploding.
Head.
Jutted.
I can safely say that game is worth $600.
Oh yeah, easily. As every game we ever play that's worth over $100 is always worth the money. No question.
Yeah! I like how, like, it's both Big Crunch and also, like, stops early.
Wait. Haggar is 6'6" and weighs 297,
yeah.
Looking like this. Sure.
This is Barrett's here. He is at least 400, if not like 450.
This dude is not... Yeah, minimum 380. I actually prefer Guy, which I think Guy is like the exact same as Cody. Like, Haggar is just...
He's really slow. He's like a grappler.
Yeah.
So I guess he has stronger, like, throws.
What if you were just walking down the street and this dude, you just see this dude, like, with one single suspender, and then I'd be like, hello, sir, can I get out of your way? Thank you.
Not only is it just a guy that's like 400 pounds of pure muscle, but he's the mayor of the town.
Right?
Oh crap, it's Mayor Haggar! Get out of here!
Did you pay your taxes yet? Alright, that's it. So yeah, wait, I'll listen to this.
Ooh.
Alright, so that is a rare game that is not obviously worth the price of admission. If you want to play Final Fight, but you don't want to play as Cody and you play as Guy, play Final Fight Guy. You can play it any way you can, as SNES Drunk would say. Okay, guys, we will see you next time.